How was it dealing with cartel when you had your taqueria?
Well, first of all, like business in Mexico at that level, like pop up, small place, doesn't require a lot of government involvement,
Hmm.
right? Uh, so there's a lot of cash flow, etc. So, which in certain situations, like little markets, um, there's a lot of everyone knows who is what. Like
Hmm.
police doesn't go in,
Yeah.
like they have their own security. Like think of it as a union,
Hmm.
right? But like not affiliated to any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Check podcast. It's me, Brennan Villarreal, your host, and today I'm the CEO with Manuel Bañuelos. He was one of my first chefs when I first started. We worked together like how long has it been now? 8 years ago.
Yeah, maybe like at least seven for sure.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years ago. We worked together at Padre. It was a fun time, a lot of learning experience, like just being like in a rough setting. Sorry, Jay. You know what I mean? Just
We all love Jay, but
yeah. I
it's
love Jay.
definitely a learning experience, and like
Yeah.
we're pretty much creating processes as we go.
Well,
Very busy setup,
we
right?
have a lot of cool people that stemmed out of that, Mescalero and Padre, and doing really cool things right now. So like, sometimes you gotta be put in a hard place to get where you are now, and you learn from things. So
Yeah, it was
yeah.
my very first like big home, the place that I could
Hmm.
call home. Talking about culinary, and some of the best connections that I have that came from that place. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, like Long Beach is definitely everyone supports each other and just wants to like hang out, and that's like a home base for you now, which is cool. And you met a lot of people through there.
Yeah,
Still have
like
friends.
coming from Mexico, it was like the first step was like trying to prove myself as a chef in a new
Hmm.
place, and like never nobody's profit in their own country, whatever they say. So yeah, coming here and try to like be open and put my name out there and stuff. So he came with a great aftermath after that.
Hmm. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you come from, how you started cooking?
Well, I come from Guadalajara, Mexico. Um, when I was around 18 years old, before I dropped out of high school actually, because all my friends, I was not a very good student. So
Neither was I.
I guess nobody in this industry, but um, I decided with my friend to go to London to spend the summer, and he ended up being like 2 years. Start working as a dishwasher on a old school Italian trattoria. I think in 1999, it was like 35 years old. So for me, working in that place, seeing like the first steps of the kitchen, old school Italian chef with the open hair chest, smoking a cigar, like in a 6x6
Yeah.
kitchen. For me, was like complete chaos. The sound of pans and pots and pans and everyone yelling in foreign languages. Uh, I guess only crazy people say like, "Oh, this is the thing for me."
Yeah.
But after London, I went back to Mexico and started like I got like a fry cook opportunity at one of Thai in like fusion Thai
Hmm.
restaurant in Mexico, which
Okay, that
sounds
makes sense. I'm starting to see like
yeah.
where your like flavors come from.
And Luis Jimenez, my chef at that time, was like very grateful to give me an opportunity because I didn't have any experience. Just came from the dish pit. And but quickly, like I made like sous chef, and from there, like I just started like cooking and cooking and cooking and try to, as all of us cooks, when we start, we try to do everything right. The more ingredients that you put on stuff, the more complicated dishes that you want to make. That's where you try to achieve, right? Until you realize that you don't know anything, and less is more and stuff. So I'm like, I tried to find my flavors. I came back to my roots of Mexican culinary. I did a little bit of research about, pre-Hispanic recipes, and tried to like, learn about more about my past and how things worked before everything, right? So, and now we're here. Try to do the same things.
How was the like road to getting over here to Long Beach? What was the steps you had to take? Like, what were you doing before? Why'd you decide to come over here?
How far apart do you want to start?
As
A
far as
decade or two?
as far apart as you want to go.
No, the last after this experience in London that I told you, and it was always my dream to come back as a professional. And after having some jobs here in the States, I opened a restaurant in Chicago. Um, I was corporate chef for corn flour masa maseca for a couple of years, and in that time I was able. It was a sponsorship for the National Soccer Federation, so I was able to go to South
Mm-hmm.
Africa and Brazil for the
Wow.
World Cups, and like you always feel your chest out of pride when you're able to do your home time cooking in like so far away,
Yeah.
in a different culture shock. We opened a restaurant in Morocco for like a cultural festival for a month, and well, always wanted to come to London. So when that finished, I opened a restaurant in Chicago, and then a boutique hotel in Guadalajara. Uh, and I finally got like a job from a headhunter to go back to London.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was it. Like, oh, I made it. So I moved to London, sold all my things, and I was there for like 9 months or a year, and I got my work visa denied.
Wow.
So, and it was very sudden because I went to Mexico to get my visa. And when I was in Mexico, they told me no. So, all my apartment, all my things, everything was in London and I couldn't come back. So, pretty much I lost everything and started again. So, in Guadalajara, I opened like a little uh, birria tacos. They call it birria, we call it barbacoa.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in, like in markets, and we opened two or three, and it was getting very popular. But I was like, "Oh, I need something else, and then cartels started getting like rougher in Mexico, and it was my birthday, and I somebody throw me my wife throw me a surprise party,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some friends coming from all over, and one of my friends told me like, "Hey, my mom has a restaurant in Los Angeles, and she wants to like she's renting it, and she wants to open something for herself. And were you able to like think about it or consult?" Like, "Oh, I'll move there."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how it was. Like by the end of the year, we sold everything, the taquerias, and we moved here. We opened Balam in Linwood.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was 2015. It was like a gourmet taco corner. Uh, I think it took me a little time, but I was very proud to at least source like heirloom corn masas, and we were
Mm-hmm.
doing each different type of masa for each taco: yellow corn, blue corn, white corn, and we have like house-made flour tortillas with a little fusion. We have our Korean asada, chicken tinga
Mm-hmm.
masala,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
type of thing. So it was really a passion project, and it was joyful. Um, Me and my partner, I was partnered with his mom, but Chendo, he took over, and at that point, I was like, "Oh, I need to do something else." So we decided to part ways. Still working, but I'm still open.
Mm-hmm.
It's been now like, oh,
Yeah. It's
like
been
yeah,
almost a decade.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. So most of my recipes they're still
Mm-hmm.
used over there. So it's a great spot if you want to go. It's like Long Beach Boulevard, right
Yeah.
off the 105. And after that, I started doing my own catering, and then Jay contacted me through a friend, Gina Ruccione.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know you know her.
So Gina went to Balam and did a
Yeah.
little write up on the
Yeah, she used to do like a podcast,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So So Gina did a write up about me, and I told her like, "Hey, I'm looking for a job," and she told me like, "Oh, I got the perfect job for you," and she connected me with Jay, and we hit it off right away, you know.
Wow.
And then I spent 5 times with Padre, with first Mescalero in downtown LA, and then Padre, and then the rest is history.
Also still around too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably in the new location
Yeah, the
very
new
soon.
location,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right on 3rd and Long Beach Boulevard.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
used to Lupus.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's rewind a little bit. How was it dealing with cartel when you had your taqueria?
Well, first of all, like business in Mexico at that level, you know, like pop up, small place, doesn't require a lot of government involvement,
Mhm.
right? Uh, so there's a lot of cash flow, etc. So, which in certain situations, like little markets, um, there's a lot of everyone knows who is what. Like
Mhm.
police doesn't go in,
Yeah.
like they have their own security. Like think of it as a union,
Mhm.
right? But like not affiliated to any.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you start like getting a little boss, and you know you get a line. And so like, oh, these people are making money,
Yeah.
and they start coming and thinking like, hey, how about if I keep your business safe? Like from where I was very like naive, you know, at the moment, but then I start seeing things around and start getting worried about it. So
Yeah.
that was kind of the situation.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
Sketchy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean they just found those two surfers or three surfers in Ensenada that were murdered. Um but it wasn't by the cartel, it was just by random robbers. You,
That's weird, you
yeah,
know.
it's weird. It doesn't yeah, it just seems like random and yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's like everything, no? There's a lot
Just
of
got to be
talks
careful.
about security in Mexico, and I personally didn't had it like firsthand.
Mhm.
I know right now, like it's getting worse in some of the cities and stuff, but um, it's also like where you move, where you at, like how
Yeah,
flashy you are. You know,
exactly.
it's like every other country. You know, like there's some places that you try to avoid.
Mhm.
Even here, I
Just
mean,
it's just being street smart.
yeah, Long Beach is not
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not
safe
safe
place.
either. I mean, you do you follow a 562 streaming?
No,
Oh, it's the like Instagram page where it tells you whenever there's like a robbery, a shooting, a stabbing, a traffic accident, and they'll be like they're like the first on the scene. They like pit what cross street it is, and then they say what the incident is, and it's like as soon as it happens almost. And so I follow that. I'm like, whoa, that was gunshots. I'm like, that was like a block from my house. And
it's
it's like I'm never
it's
there when
crazy,
it
man.
happens, but I like it's around us all the time. We just are fortunate to just be weaving through it.
In Spanish we say bendita ignorancia. So like we're the bliss of ignorance. So I rather like not. I don't watch news for the same reason. Like
I'm not a news
my
person
my
except for
my my
Instagram.
heart goes to bed. I'm a very sensible
Hmm.
person. So like everything affects me really
Yeah,
much. So
I
yeah,
get sad about that
yeah.
stuff. It gets feel it a lot. Yeah. Um. Yeah, we live in a sad world. It's unfortunate, but you know,
We do the best we
each
can with the tools we have at the
yeah.
moment,
Let
right?
me try to help people, be good people every day. That's the best we can do. But
Somebody like that's one of the things that I love about Long Beach. Let's not talk only about the rough patches, right?
hmm
But also the sense of community and everyone watching each other and taking care of like small business and
hmm
supporting, you know, whatever everyone's going through. There's a lot of mental health issues going around, and I think Long Beach is a great community to be a safe space for many people, and that's like beyond the bad things that happen in Long Beach, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely. Like especially the way that the kitchen culture is changing right now. A lot of mental awareness going around. That's very important to like take care of yourself. And you know, I was talking to my friend. He was a bartender. He was like on episode 3 of this, and he weighed like I think 300 pounds, and he just would drink every night, party, whatever. And then he like got roofied, and then was like he got hurt or whatever, woke up in the hospital. doctor told him if he keeps drinking, like he's gonna, die. And then so he just like, it's like I gotta turn it around. Can't be doing this all the time. I'm gonna like kill myself. He lost all his weight. He's like 100, whatever, 80 pounds of pure muscle. Looks like a luchador, like wrestler
Wow.
guy. He's like jacked. He's like, I'm trying to think, like Conan the Barbarian. He's got long hair.
I think I need to start thinking of that
um,
before going to the doctor, of
yeah,
course.
yeah, but he works at a bar in Long Beach. I won't say which one, but he sees the same people going there every single day, doing the same thing, and he's like, I was there. I was in your position that I was, and you know, it didn't end up good for me, but I turned my life around. And it's like it just sucks to see people stuck in that same vicious cycle of
Even seeing
work, drink, work,
yeah,
drink, party, drugs.
and even the amount of like homelessness we see on the streets, like at the beginning, obviously is uncomfortable to watch, and for some people is because they're ruining my view or the way I feel like about my living
Mm.
situation. But for some of us, it's a reminder that we're one or two decisions
Oh yeah.
uh, away from that,
Hmm.
and for me it's very important to, like, I mean, also I started my career and still in the old school
Hmm.
running kitchens kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
And so right now it's very uh, reassuring to see how people are evolving, and the taboo is going a little bit away, and everyone is talking about it,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the important thing,
Yeah. It's very important. Yeah. I just try to like, if I have a restaurant one day, to live with that ethos of just treating everyone with respect. And I like at Padre, like I think I got a little bit into myself too much. I was like, I'm gonna be like Gordon Ramsay. It's like my way or the highway. Like listen to me, or you guys can leave. And I did say that actually.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't like it my way, then you can walk out. And people walked out. But that's not the way to do it anymore. You have to lead with compassion. And it's funny. I saw the new Planet of the Apes movie,
Yeah.
and I love science fiction movies, and it was Caesar. He was like from the first three movies. He's like the
Yes.
one that evolved, and he was like
The first
showed
one,
the
yeah.
showed the apes how to live, and he had a moral code, and it was apes do not kill apes, and he said that you're supposed to lead with compassion, strength, and morality,
Yeah.
and that hit me in the movie theater. And we're talking about getting sensitive. I was like, damn, like you can take that to anywhere in life. You know what I mean?
In whatever
Yeah,
and everything you do,
yeah, exactly. So I was like, yeah.
Also understanding like the different amount of people's brain and emotions, how it works, and now thankfully we have more access to information,
Hmm.
and how the different type of people, like maybe you and I, we react very well under pressure, and that's the thing that pushes forward, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But for some people it freezes, and then like it creates trauma, and then it's a vicious cycle, because trying to get out of trauma it
Hmm.
puts you in another situation,
Yeah, exactly.
and I'm sorry for everyone that I lead before, but now I can see, how are you either an agent of change or an agent of problem,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, I'm
And
sorry also, everybody.
we're getting here like like kitchen
Yeah,
confidential.
exactly. Um, yeah, let's talk more about food. So you're saying that barbacoa is the same as birria?
Well, it's different,
Yeah,
in
there's different variations in
there's a
different
lot of
regions.
regionality.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the birria is mainly from goat, served on a broth,
Mm.
and with the side of tortillas. Barbacoa usually is called by the lamb or the borrego, like pit fire. And then, but then in Jalisco, or at least in Guadalajara, we have tacos de barbacoa that they're usually beef, and we like crisp on the plancha with a side of consomme and
Mm.
stuff. Not many color, just a little bit of red,
Hmm.
not
Not a lot of
not
chilies.
red dye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your barbacoa is so good. That
Thanks.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's yeah, birria has been around forever, but it's kind of gotten like more mainstream popularity in like the last 3-5 years, I
I think
guess.
it's
You know, like Del Taco has birria.
yes. I think it's well, it's not a gimmick because
Yeah, it's not a
the
gimmick.
dish
It's
is
yeah.
delicious, right? And it's a great plate, and it's easy to eat, and it's affordable, and it's comfort,
Mm,
and it's also works in many aspects of your life. You know, like for dinner, for breakfast, for lunch. You know, for after hours. Um, but I think it's a cycle of how all the food trends are moving. You know,
yeah.
like we see the, you know, the burgers, the smash
Yeah,
burgers.
smash burger.
Well, first we saw the gastropub burgers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or here in Long Beach, when I arrived here in Long Beach, that's for me was a pain in my head,
Gastropub.
like Brussels sprouts, dude. I was like, how many Brussels sprouts can people order, dude? And I was like, for me, it's a thing that we
Yeah.
hated as a child, you know, like, and suddenly it's this popular thing. And I took him out of the menu. I remember a Padre, and there was like people complaining, like, wow, where you put the Brussels sprouts? Like, we're a Mexican restaurant. There's no fucking Brussels sprouts here. Um,
That was the thing. That was 2015 prime Brussels sprouts and pub burgers,
yeah,
gastro pub
exactly.
with a steak
Thick with
knife on
the
the top.
thick burgers with the brioche bun,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
uh, and from you know like the like birria tacos and quesabirrias, whatever. First of all, like adding cheese to that for me
Yeah.
is a crime, you
Yeah.
know. But
I
it's
feel the same way.
but it's you know you cannot always be so purist,
Yeah.
and we're also in LA,
Okay,
so
what about the birria ramen?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, you like it?
I mean, it's broth and
Yeah,
noodles. You
yeah.
know, I'm a little fatty, so if I can double up on carbs, I'll always take it. You
Yeah.
know, like
I just love the consomme, and then I think it's the way you eat it is what's, people they're like, "Oh wow, like you dip it in there like kind of like a French dip, you know what I mean? Like a
yes,
Mexican style French dip with the taco." I think people like that playfulness with their
yeah, like
food.
different situation.
Yeah.
How to yeah, like you say,
Yeah.
play with your food.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. You know, that's like that's how I like to eat. You know, like chopino. You have a
Mhm.
little bread to dip on the broth, and then you can eat it, or you can have a like a mussel
Mhm.
or whatever. You know, um, but yeah, it's fun how you like do stuff with your food.
Mhm. You're talking about smash burgers. I was telling somebody I forgot where we were at, but it was with a bunch of food. And we are just talking about, he's like, "Oh, I don't see a lot of like pub style burgers anymore, like a medium rare burger. It's in like everyone does smash burgers now." And I was like, I think it's because smash burgers take less skill to make.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You just smash it. It's like done in
you
like
get a
less,
nice
like a two
crust.
minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And there's really no like temp skill on that, and knowing your temperatures by cooking meat, and the cook time's so much faster that if you had a busy pop-up that did like pub style burgers, they'd be slammed if like 30 people came in to order
like
burgers.
7 minutes on the
Yeah.
yeah to get a
It's
medium
like a
rare. Yeah,
smash
yeah.
burgers, like bam. So I think it's like in a reason that's why it's kind of like so popular, because you can turn and burn the smash
Also,
burgers
I
really
think the
fast,
size for
and
me, like a
it's a
smash
nice quick
burger,
little bite.
yeah, like it's handheld. You know,
Hmm.
at some point, I'm always on the car or always on the move, and I had to get stuff that it's handheld,
It's
right?
easy to eat. Yeah,
Yes.
pub burger gets all over you. It's like the Carl's Jr. commercial. The
Yeah,
sexy
yeah, yeah.
girls getting barbecue on your like
Yeah, yeah. It's very
face.
messy. That's another thing that I don't understand is burritos, right?
Yeah.
Like burritos for me growing up, this little thing of machaca. There's no rice, no beans. Maybe it's just a little spread of beans, but there were little things that you can handheld.
Would that be like what's the place in Anaheim? Little tiny
The
burritos.
Sonora, no.
No, Sonora's coming, but it's
La
kind of,
Palma.
yeah, Burritos Los Palmos, kind of
Yes,
like
yeah,
that style.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
those are so good. It's like the braised
And it's also like
meat. Yeah,
you're not like eating and stuff like for me chipotle and stuff
that's
like the flavors are good to be honest, but
yeah.
yeah, like the handheld of a burrito I never seen like
Hmm.
also I mean that's an American
Yeah,
portion,
yeah,
right? Like
Chipotle. You
yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
handle. You have to eat it like a steak.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's funny. But like talking about the food and how it's been transitioning, also in LA, is I mean after being in many cities in Chicago, New York, and Europe and
Mm.
stuff, LA has its own uh, how you call it, like living culture.
Mhm.
Like it's continuously feeding from. It's like a sourdough starter.
Mhm.
Like it keeps getting fed from different cultures and fusions and stuff. So now the first thing that was a fusion, now it's a traditional dish. Let's talk about koji tacos. Like
Yeah.
now,
He just opened his a taco
yeah,
stand.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
he
just like
serves
for
by
fun.
himself,
Yeah,
like
by
on the
himself.
street. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's like, I don't know, a bulgogi taco. Like now it's a, oh, that's a typical. What do you eat in LA? Oh, yeah, bulgogi taco,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny because people get so riled up about what's traditional or what's coming. It's like, and when they ask me, like, is this traditional, pastor? Like, what do you mean traditional? Like, when he was not in Mexico,
Mhm.
like he came from Lebanon or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Like at that point, he
Yeah.
wasn't
That's
traditional,
not traditional
and
at all.
it's traditional now, no? Or
Yeah.
like chile nogada that came from the
Mhm.
French and etc. Et even like,
I went to Mexico City in November, and I ordered chile nogado from just a random. We were just walking on the street.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're like, we're hungry. Let's go eat at the place. It was like a diner, like very old school. I ordered that, and it was like so good. Can you explain to the audience what chile nogado is?
Well, chile
Yeah,
nogada was made in a
the
convent
Independence Day,
in,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for Independence Day, in times of we still have emperors, and it was a non like still very influenced by French cuisine in Puebla, that area. It was created on a convent, and they were trying to like serve some emperors are
Hmm.
coming or some important people. So they created this dish. It's a that's another thing. They call it here chile pasilla.
Hmm.
I know in my whole life as chile poblano. So it's a chile poblano filled with pork and fruits and acitron, which is like candied cactus,
Mm.
which now is illegal to
And
get.
they put raisins now instead,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
and the sauce is made. It's called nogada because nogada is nogal is the name of the walnut tree
Hmm.
in Spanish. So that's why it's called nogada. So because the sauce comes from the walnuts.
Hmm.
So it's goat cheese and walnut sauce, and it's seasonal in September, and it has the pomegranate seeds. So that's they have like the three colors of the
Hmm.
flag, and a very elevated dish for its time, right? Like
Hmm.
kind of like you can say the French process of like doing the filling first,
Hmm.
roasting the chiles, and then the sauce, and then the toppings. It's a very
Yeah,
complete
it's
dish.
very looks like very French. Like
Yeah,
it like the sauce would be like a bechamel
yeah, yeah,
almost,
yeah.
on top of something stuffed. Um, how do you feel about Mexico getting its first taqueria as a Michelin star? Hot take.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of places that deserve a Michelin star. If Michelin star were respected or unbiased at all,
Hmm.
even from restaurants, like I think it's a tradition, and I think it was a very good way to grade the effort of chefs and restaurateurs
Hmm.
overall. But I think at this moment, like everything else in creative world and culturally, art, music, painting, it comes to popularity contest and who has more money to invest in certain things and who and what ability you have to like be in that niche of a circle, right? Uh, it definitely opens an eye for the world, so I'm happy for that. I
Hmm.
think that's a very positive way to see about it.
Yeah.
I never been to the place, that
Yeah.
taqueria, but I'm for sure like they deserve it. Talking about the food and will bring a great business to Mexico.
Mexico
Mexico
City.
City, it's
There's so
already
much
full.
great food in Mexico City. Like,
We always
s-
worry about gentrification, so I
yeah,
think that will only help to that.
yeah, definitely.
But it's good for them, good
Yeah,
for the business, good for the culture, and good for the people, even
yeah,
if it's not the right reasons.
yeah. Everyone's twisting their neck about it. But
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. Wherever you can get recognition is a good thing.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
if it's gonna be Mexico's first Michelin star as a taqueria, then so be it.
I'm more excited about this girl that had in Oaxaca, like the first women, like
Hmm.
indigenous.
I think,
Uh,
was that on a show? I think it was on. I was watching. There's a million cooking shows these days,
yeah.
and like travel cooking shows, and I think I might have seen it somewhere.
Saint Anthony Bourdain.
Mm.
We miss him so much.
Yeah,
But yeah, on those
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
But yeah, like in Oaxaca, like this girl got like stars, and I think that's very valuable,
Hmm.
to see, to open the focus point to the actual indigenous cooking, because that's where everything came up,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's important. Just remembering your roots and finding ways that our ancestors cooked and the styles that they cooked in, and everything came from somewhere, and they're also influenced by you know other cultures that came in. You know,
It's a responsibility
yeah,
that we have as a chefs,
and
no, and
it's
with the culture. So if you have the opportunity and the knowledge to educate, I think, I mean, we also have to make money and do business
mhm,
about it. But I think it's a responsibility for everyone cooking there, out there, to educate as much as I can. So like, we not talking about from a nationalist point, but talking about like preserving some of the things,
yeah,
knowing more will open doors for creating or fusioning more.
yeah, hmm,
Um, if you know the proper way to do it, you definitely can start doing and
yeah,
incorporating into some other things.
exactly. Well, it was really good to have you on the podcast today.
It's a pleasure. I
It's
know
been
we.
a while since we hung out and talked.
Yeah.
It was really fun to get you on. I mean, I've been trying to get you on here. We're all busy and stuff.
Yes.
Man, trying
Yes.
to grind out there. But everyone, make sure you follow Manuel Bañuelos on Instagram. He does catering, private chefing, right? And then
We'll do everything.
everything. But yeah, check him out. Thanks for listening today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Mhm.